It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and other comics from all over. We came to Japan to see how you are supposed to wash your hands in Japan in a public restroom in warm water. Without any warm water, paper towels or soap. The Talk Funny podcast from NagoyaRadio.com and Nagoya Comedy. Here's Mark Bailey.
We're back with another edition of Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey. Here's Mike Miller again.
Nice to be back.
So, in memoriam, also Norm Mcdonald, who was very meta after his death. He had already recorded a special to be aired on Netflix after his death. And I think Chris Rock and some other comics.
They did a commentary after, yeah.
Yeah, and that's very meta.
Yeah, what did you think? You watched the special, right?
Yeah,
and what did you think of the jokes?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
I thought the jokes were good. It's just a shame that he didn't have an audience there to laugh.
It was more anti-PC this time because he doesn't care. What are you going to do?
I don't think he's ever cared.
What are you going to
really.
do? Dig him up and deformat him?
Yeah, I don't think he ever cared, though, even when he did have like a career to worry about. He was a guy I think that not a lot of people really knew, and like even his comic friends, they seemed like, in that special, if you watch it on Netflix, I recommend it, they said, we didn't really know. We knew Norm, but we didn't know him like that well, although he gambled. His closest friends were the ones he gambled with. Like, he gambled with, what's his name?
Louie Anderson.
Louie Anderson, he gambled, and he also gambled with the other guy who lost his nose to cocaine. What's his name? Artie Lang. Artie Lang and Norm, they gambled a lot. And, like, he would lose several $1,000s and just, like, $20,000. And
was it you that told me there's a great thing, I think it's on YouTube, he's talking to Artie Lang, Louie Anderson is talking to Artie Lang about losing $87,000.
Yeah.
And then having to make up he ended up going back with $104,000, and he had a photo shoot.
Yeah, he had a commercial for Pizza Hut or something.
He's been up all night.
Or Pepsi, yeah.
Been up all night, and he's on coke. And without winning, he wouldn't be able to make the photo shoot.
Yeah.
He called his agent and said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it tomorrow. I said, where are you? I'm in Las Vegas. What are you doing? What do you think I'm doing? Say, I lost all my money. Well, just take your car, bring your car. I sold my car to buy chips. Louie Anderson was also a degenerate gambler.
Yeah, they were all gamblers. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I refuse to do gambling, because I just don't want to go down that path, because I think anybody can really go down that path. Really, yeah. I think anybody. It's like drinking, it's like smoking, it's like drugs. It's just anybody. We're all vulnerable to that kind of thing.
I did pachinko. I think I did it one time. I think I put like 200 yen in.
Yeah.
And he goes, ka-ting.
Bye-bye.
And I said, so that's it? That's it. That was like a second and a half.
Yeah.
That wasn't even fun. It's not even like ping pong or something.
No, it's not a video game. It's not a video game.
When I first came here in Japan in 1990, they had a casino jankenpoi.
Oh, really?
Video game with girls on the screen.
Yeah.
And if you win the first round, they take off their top. That was a great game.
Jankenpong with, wow.
And they'll take off their top. And guess what? You never, ever finish. Well, you'll finish.
Yeah.
When they take out the top, but you never ever get to third base.
No.
And they take out the top, and then you get to second base, you get to the second level, it's like, yeah, and they like take off their shoes.
Oh.
Come on.
And this is in like an arcade and view of everybody.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
When I first came here in 1990.
1990, yeah. Japan was a lot less PC, I'd say, in the 80s and 90s than it is now.
If you looked at these girls now, it's like, that looks like the girl I'm dating, that looks like her mom. Probably was her mom.
But it was an animation. It wasn't a real woman.
No,
right?
it was real.
Oh, a real woman.
It was real.
A real photo of, oh my God, that's, wow.
I don't know how they did that, but it was part digital. But
and jankenpong, for those who don't know, is rock, scissors, paper. So I don't know how you do that. You do that like in front of the machine, and somehow it could tell your hands?
You push rock, scissors,
paper.
You
push a button.
But the machine knows what you push.
Yeah.
And then it takes the other one, right?
I see. So scissors. It was kind of not really a real game. I don't know. I never spent a lot of time in the arcades. I'm not a big video game guy, but there's a big one right down by Nagoya Station. I forget, Comtech Tower, I think it's called. And one time a friend of mine came to the city, and he's like, I want to go to a game center. And that was the only one that I knew. I was like, well, I know there's one down. I mean, there's one in Osu, too. But so we went down, and he was playing video game after video game. I was just bored out of my mind. Like, this is the most... If you don't like video games, going to an arcade is the most boring experience imaginable, because there's nothing to do there but play video games.
What's your goal in this one? Well, you see all these things up in the sky? Yeah, I have to shoot all of them.
Yeah.
And then what happens? They send me more, and I shoot more. Okay. And then what if you win? Well, you never win.
It just continues.
You already paid. You already lost because you paid.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're good at video games, You sit down and you can get to like the third round or the fourth level or whatever. But for me, because I suck at video games, because I don't play them, I have no practice, you put in your 100 yen, it's gone in like 20 seconds. And then you're sitting there like, well, that was fun.
I don't know if we have listeners in Afghanistan, but in different countries, they have different versions of rock, scissors, paper.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of resources. So in Afghanistan, it's rock, rock, rock.
Hello, Patreon.
Just Mike Miller at, I'm sorry, Tim Linane
yes.
at yahoo.com.
Yeah, Tim Linane.
I have to be very delicate here. We have listeners in India, thank you so much, and Sri Lanka and Nepal. The student maker, she went to a bar. She went home with a guy from Sri Lanka. She went to her apartment. They made love, and then he said, you can pay me now.
Pay me now?
You can pay me now. She goes, oh, sorry? He goes, you can pay me now. And she goes, well, no, that's not the arrangement. And he goes, well, I just won't leave. She was smart. She called me. This is the daytime. It's on a Sunday. She called me. She said, he goes, you can't leave the apartment. She goes, well, I got to go to an ATM. He goes, no, you stay here. She goes, okay, I'll call my friend. And she will bring the money over. He's like, okay. So she called me. And I said, how much you owe? And she goes, I don't even know. We didn't talk about it at all. So I got on my bike and I went over. And I opened the door and I said, this is not a baksheesh country. This is July, but I had my leather jacket on.
Oh. When Mark puts the leather jacket on, he means business.
Live from casino where Joe Pesci goes to Las Vegas, a different club, different casino. And all the old mob guys go, hey, I thought you were over there. No, I'm over here now. Oh, you're over here now? Yeah. So don't forget to validate when you leave. Oh, you're over here now. We didn't know you were over here. Oh, okay, you're over here. So I rushed over there. And I said, this is not a baksheesh country. Mm-hmm. All right? You can't scam your way out of this. And I said, you want me to call the police? What are you trying to, what do you want her to pay? He said, that wasn't the
arrangement.
So, it's like a tip. And I said, this is not a baksheesh country. Yeah. This is why Sri Lanka doesn't have a government. Okay? Serious. They don't have a government. They were storming the...
They stormed the palace, yeah. They burned down, kind of, or crashed in.
So the guy goes, well, I can leave. And I said, well, I think you owe her some money. Mm-hmm. Did you threatened her?
Yeah.
You want to leave a tip and then leave. So he left each money.
Wow.
And as he's going down the stairs, and I said, this is not Sri effing Lanka. Mm-hmm. All right? You can't scam your way out of everything. Okay? Mm-hmm. So then the next week, she's selling her bed. And I said, you should put that bed in a museum. Because
it has stories.
If that bed could talk.
Oh, my God.
It would talk like Hugh Hefner.
Oh.
And that's just what I know about that bed. And she gave it away to two Sri Lankan guys. Mm-hmm. We love you in Sri Lanka. Tim Linane at yahoo.com. All right, so the guys come with a truck, and they take the bed for free. Uh-huh. And they see the futon, and they say, you want to take that with you? And she didn't want it, so she gave it to them. They said, we really don't want it. She goes, please. Mm-hmm. So she gave it to them. Oh, before they drove off, they said, are you not included in the deal?
What?
That's very Sri Lanka of you.
Wow.
You scumbags. All right, stop scamming. You're in a first world country now. You don't have to scam anymore.
Strange.
It's baksheesh and the tip and the extra. You didn't pay anything. You're getting this for free, and now you're soliciting her.
Yeah.
That was not the same guys. Two different guys. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is I can never go to Sri Lanka after this podcast.
Yes. Well, to our one Sri Lankan listener who's left, we sincerely apologize.
Well, they probably think we owe them money because they're from Sri Lanka.
I don't know. I never had any experiences like that, but I that's pretty ridiculous to ask have something like that happen and then expect to get paid. Kind of ridiculous. So I have to agree.
That's not the end of it. So the thing with the futon, they took it, and then I said, "Can you get it back?" So she said, "Can you bring it back?" And they said, "We'll mail it to you." But we saw, last time you were here, I have a drum set here. I have another drum set. Mm-hmm. I had an older drum set. It looked like the black one behind you. And it was the first one I got. It was the cheapest one. It falls apart a lot because it's not aluminum, it's plastic. Mm-hmm. And I gave it to her. And they saw that, and they said, will you trade us the drums for the futon? And I argued with her when I heard about it later. I said, the futon that they don't own, that you gave them. Mm-hmm. Now they want to trade something they don't own for something I want, for something else they don't own. That's why Sri Lanka doesn't have a government.
This is why I hate garage sales. This is why you don't go to. This is why you just don't do garage sales, because it doesn't matter where you are on this planet. You're always going to get that one guy who comes in. I'll give you $1 for it. Oh, could you drive it over to my house? Could you put it in? There's always people always want something for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. She goes, what should I do? I can give them the drums. I gave you the drums, and I told you not give them away. Even if you moved to Tokyo, I could store them here. You don't give them or sell them. And she said, yeah, but I also promised the drums to your Zanzibari friend, and she lives very far away. She has no taxi, no money for a taxi. She has no car. You're never going to see those drums again. She goes, no, she's going to hold them. And then I said, she's going to sell them. She's a coke addict, and she's going to sell them.
Well, that's a bigger problem than drums. Yeah.
You're never going to see them again. No, the girl she wants to give the drums to is a coke addict.
Yeah.
I know where the drums are going. You're never going to see them again. I say we do this. Trade the drums to the stingy Sri Lankans. Get that futon back.
Mm-hmm.
For your birthday, I'll send you new drums.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The futon is worth nanamanin, new drums, but niman samanin.
Mm-hmm.
So we do that. So we did that. And then the guy said, so we also saw a vase. I said, now you're pushing your luck. You didn't pay anything but gas to come up here.
Mm-hmm.
You got something for nothing, and then you traded it for something that you don't own, which is worth a lot of money. It's like, yeah, that's why Sri Lanka doesn't have a government.
This reminds me of the guy who had you remember the guy who had like the $1? And he's like, okay, I want you to turn this $1 into $100 or $1,000. And he's like, okay, I'll give you this. I'll buy something for $1. And he's like, okay, I'll sell it to you for $2. And it's like that kind of thing, that hustle, you know. And it's just, I mean, it's just, come on, guys, really.
It's like the old Sicilian joke. Grandma takes her grandson to the beach. He swims out. He's got a cap on. He almost drowns. She can't see him for like a minute, and there's bubbles. And she's like, please, God, just bring my grandson back, right? Miraculously, he resurfaces. He comes back, and she looks at him, and she goes up to God, and she goes, he had a hat.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's like, you Sri Lankans, tanlanane at yahoo.com, you frickin' Sri Lankans. Mark Bailey, Mike Muffin, Talk Buddy.